Hey everyone, it's your girl Maddie here, aka Beaver Mosh, and today I am talking to you about Oracular Hexations from the Portland, Oregon based Diabolic Oath. This is coming to you from Sentient Ruin Laboratories, and what we have here is just an unforgiving and at times quite perplexing blackened death metal album. It's at all times forceful, just full of blunt edges, but also very creative. So many weird passages and textures to wade through in this thing. It's dark, it's corroded. It feels like you've just awakened. You know, you drop something in a haunted cave that's been dormant for centuries, and now you need to run away. You need to run away really fast. Things start off with rusted madness tethering misbegotten horror spices. This album has just track title. It immediately feels like this stampede about to trample you. It's just instant punishment with these very loud, raging drum fills, these chunky, tree trunk-like riffs, and whatever vile is coming out of the vocalist's mouth. I'm drawn to the creativity behind the drum set here. Goes through a lot of fills and patterns that you wouldn't expect a drummer to do in contexts like this. It's always very unexpected. And of course, it's heavy as hell. A lot of interesting cymbal work, some very snappy snare pops. It's good stuff. The feeling I get from this is so dissonant and warped. There is no respite to be found, and yet there is also this weirdness to it. It's twisted. It's confusing. It's hard to comprehend. On Serpent Coil Suffocating the Mortal Wound, the track title describes its sound better than I can. It's like these slimy, snaking, atonal leads that are as disorienting as they are face melting. This track is not chaotic as hell. It's more chaotic than hell. Winged Ouroboros melting into gold gives you this ghost of the swamp feel. It's mysterious, but also just very muddy and dirty. It's an ugly mystery for sure. And part of why this album feels so slimy and murky is the band takes this interesting choice to go for completely fretless instrumentation. Makes it feel the playing is off kilter. It's alien. And on top of that, the band has this interesting three-part vocal approach. It's sometimes following each other. It's like you're being hit from different angles, and you can't always tell which direction the voices are coming from. It adds to this overall sense of dread and unknown that this album offers so much of. Fragmented Hymns from the Globulus Cruciger is a track that is as strange as its title. All the instruments, most of them, are doing very typical death metal stuff. But the bass is not. Instead, the bass is contrasting everything so starkly by playing these more jazzy passages around everything else, just running wild around the other instruments doing more conventional passages. It doesn't feel right, but it works. It's not meant to feel correct. It's topped off with all these odd harmonics and more groove-oriented runs. It's wild. There's some weird either phasers or delays going on. I can't exactly tell, but it's an effect that makes the track feel like it's stretching at abnormal times. It's hallucinating. Gathering Horde from the Outer World is like this 10-minute centerpiece that sees the band taking on a more expansive approach. The beginning section is more doomy. It's like a stoic march. But it gradually grows more violent, more fierce, more ominous in tone. It's like it's slowly dragging you into deeper and deeper layers of hell. The band will pivot back and forth on one extreme, being a normal blackened death metal band, to pivoting to the other extreme, which is just pure brain nutty insanity. Just these atonal reverb drenched leads, weird sound effects filling every gap. It's overstimulating. It feels like a sentient virus. On the last track, Oracular Hexations Leeching, the blast beats take on much more of kind of a raw black metal feel, very loud ringing cymbals and incessant snare patterns. It's more airy than anything. You get these serrated, very scathing guitars. It's wicked stuff. Definitely this last track is the most blackened of all the chapters on this album so far. It changes speeds and dynamics so well, really dramatizing the changes, going from pure unbridled rage to just being drawn into total gloom and despair. And the way it transitions is so irregular and unstable. The vocals sound like this utmost unholy ritual. It's like a demonic priest reading out its liturgy. It's very intense. And it builds the record up to the most possible tortured conclusion. It's climbing and climbing, but at the same time constantly degrading into this just brutalizing wall of sound. But behind that, very faintly, you can hear these ghostly melodies trapped behind that wall, just screaming for you for help. But it's so far away that you can do nothing about it. This record is a ride. I love how they save these longer tracks towards the end as the album becomes more diseased and far less straightforward. This album has so many riffs, but utilizes them in ways I don't recognize. It's not held by understood metal constraints at all. If you like extreme metal at its most cryptic, its most challenging, and its most feral, then definitely check this one out. And hey, those are my thoughts. If you like what I do, like this video, tell me, hit the like button. It would mean the world to me if you'd consider subscribing. I have a Twitter you can follow. Link to that is in the bio of this YouTube channel. Leave a comment. I love getting to engage with those. Hey, thank you to my patrons. I have a Patreon that you can join for exclusive content. No pressure to give financially. I'm so grateful that you watch, but if that is a way you want to support, make the show more sustainable, it would be greatly appreciated. And hey, you right there watching Keep It Metal, my name is Maddie, aka Beaver Mott, and I'm signing off.